Alright, hi, I'm Casey. If this is the first time that you've come to my channel, then welcome. And if you've somehow made your way back here, even though I only have like 3 videos, then welcome back. Thank you so much for coming and being here. Today I have a video for those of us that are seeking some sort of change. For those of us that are feeling a little unsatisfied with life, those of us that feel like we're not going in the right direction, if you feel like you're not sure if the path that you're on is right for you, if you're feeling lost. Basically, for those of us that are seeking a change. And the reason I say us is because lately I've personally been feeling like I'm unsure of the direction I'm going in, and I've been really seeking a change. And something that's really been helping me throughout this time of uncertainty is tarot. And so I hope that I can bring this reading to you, those of you that are searching for change, and hopefully it can give you some good advice or some guidance to help you down this path and to help you figure out what's right for you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the crystals for the cards. This is pile 1 with the Unakite or Unakite. I'm not sure, I think it's Unakite. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm not much of a crystal guru. Pile 2 is yellow jasper, I know that one. Pile 3 is green agate, and pile 4 is the yellow calcite. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a few moments to choose your pile that you're most drawn to, and without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, welcome. If you chose pile 1 and the Unakite, then this is gonna be the reading for you. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the tarot cards, and we're gonna get what your current situation is that you're in that you feel like you're searching for a change of some kind for. And then after that, I'm going to use the Prism Oracle card deck, and then I'm going to see what exactly it is that you need to change about that situation, what changes you should make. And then I'm going to end with the Animal Apothecary Oracle deck, which will give advice. And I chose that deck to give advice because I feel like the guidebook really has these beautiful stories inside, and it's personally helped me and has helped a few of my friends. And the creator is just full of great wisdom, and I really hope that you can get some good advice from those cards. But anyways, enough of my rambling. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, pile 1. I went ahead and I got all of your cards. I was gonna shuffle on screen, but I wasn't really feeling like I was in the zone, so it took a few moments to clear my head, and here we are. I apologize if you can hear the background noise. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people over. I feel like I always film when there's a lot going on in the background. I don't know why. But anyways, getting into your reading. I feel like those of you that were really drawn to this pile are currently dissatisfied with those that you keep around you. And if you're not currently if you haven't currently realized that you're dissatisfied because of these people, I feel like you've just been feeling like a general dissatisfaction and you're not sure why. And I think it's because there's certain people in your life that don't have your best good at heart. Like they're just giving off bad vibes. They're kind of like leeching your energy. And I feel like lately you've been this 10 of Swords. You've been really feeling down. You see this guy is literally pinned down by all these swords, and I feel like that's you. For some of you, you might even be feeling like you're in a depression. You might be feeling a lot of anxieties. You might be feeling like, what's wrong with me? And you're kept up at night with all these thoughts of am I doing something wrong? And you just can't understand why you have this unhappiness, this dissatisfaction. And I think it's all because either the friend group you're in or the people that are close to you right now. I'm thinking specifically friends. Sorry, a lot of background noise, had to take a break. I feel like these people that are in your life, they don't have your best good at heart. And they could be talking behind your back, they could just be internally judging you. And I feel like you feel on some level that negativity radiating towards you and really draining your energy. For some of you, if you've really been feeling this way, I don't know if you've ever heard of evil eye. I feel like most people have, but it's when people kind of they could be jealous, or they could just dislike you for some reason. And when you keep those people around you, they really leech your energy. Some people, like if it's really bad, they might even start feeling sick. So you could notice you have like a recurring illness. You're just feeling like you have a really big lack of energy. You might be getting like breakouts on your face. Like if you've been getting a lot of acne, and that's not really something that you've had before, like a ton. And it's just like all of a sudden you're like, why does it feel like everything is going wrong? And I think it's because there's people in your life that are like almost preying on your downfall. Like whether they realize it or not, like these could even be people that care about you, that are just not in a very good headspace themselves. And because of that, it's like if you're doing better than them in some capacity, it's like they prey on your downfall. You know, they send bad vibes your way. They're envious, they're jealous of you. And I think Spirit is saying about this situation, like, you need to take a break from these people. You need to cut them out. You need to leave behind the people that are tricksters, that are liars, maybe going behind your back, people that are, like, gossiping about you. If you have a lot of people that gossip in your life, like, I feel like a part of you knows that it's a possibility they could be gossiping behind your back, but you just don't want to believe it. But I think deep down you know that they are, and Spirit's telling you, like, it's time to go your own direction. Like, you have so much positivity inside. You have such good energy inside, and when people have, like, bad energy and they see that you've got, like, all this good, they're like, I don't like that person has all that good energy. I don't like that they have all these good vibes. I don't like that they have all these blessings. They have all this, all that. And so they try to, like, pull you down energetically, like an anchor. And Spirit is saying, like, girl, take you don't need to be a girl, but you know what I mean. Girl, take that energy elsewhere. Like, be the fool, like, go off to greener pastures. Like, where you are right now is just detrimental to you. Like, it's detrimental to your energy, and, like, it's starting to impact you physically. Like, it's weighing you down, it's making you anxious, it's making you depressed, it's making you feel, like, almost heavy. Like, you might not have a lot of energy because you just feel so, like, weighed down. And I think Spirit is also saying, like, once you decide to leave these negative people behind and, like, move on and, you know, bring your energy elsewhere, you're going to meet other people that have a more positive energy themselves with this Lover's card. Like, you're going to meet people that are actually on your level, that are going to support you and uplift you rather than pulling you down. And I feel like you've kind of known this for a while. Like, you've known, like, these aren't really my people, this isn't my crowd, but I feel like you're scared to take that leap and, you know, ditch these people completely to go find others that are better for you. And I can't blame you. Like, if you've known these people for a long time and they're, like, the people that you've always hung out with, they're the only people you know, it can be super scary to just be like, you know what, I'm gonna go have no friends for a while I look for better ones, you know? It's obviously not very practical, you know, from an emotional standpoint, to just drop everybody you know and be a loner for a while. But I think you've inherently known, like, intuitively, like, it's time to move on from these people. These people aren't doing me any good anymore, and you've almost been ignoring it. Like, this judgment moment, like, sorry I keep saying, like, I'm from California. I really hope it's not bothering you. I feel like the universe has really been putting these signs in your way to be like, you're not doing good here. It's time to move on. And you've just been ignoring that message. Basically, you're this guy under the tree that's ignoring this cup that's been handed down from the universe that's telling you to get out of here. And you're like, I am not ready. I'm not ready to move on. These are the people I know. These are the people I've always been with. But once you take your energy elsewhere, honestly, I feel like it's going to be such a big relief, because there are better friends out there waiting to connect with you. There are better people, better relationships that you're meant to build. You just need to take that step to remove yourself from this toxic environment. I feel like also with the Sex of Pentacles, like, you've almost been, I don't know if you've been putting yourself down, or these people that you've been hanging around with have been putting you down, but I feel like they've almost diminished your own self-worth of yourself. Like, you might be feeling like, I'm not that pretty, or I'm not that handsome, or like, oh, I can't do this, or I can't do that. And yes, you can. Yes, you are. But you've been around all these people that have been bringing you down so much for so long that you've stopped believing in yourself, and you've been this beggar when really, like, you have everything you need. You don't need to be begging for scraps. You don't need to be at the bottom of the barrel. You need to realize that you are worth more, that you are a lot better than these people that you're hanging around with. And you could be so much more. I feel like that was a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and get into the oracle cards. Up next, we're gonna do what you need to change. I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle this part on camera. Give me a quick break to switch over to that deck, and we'll be right back. All right, pile one. I've got the Prism oracle deck here with me. Sorry, I feel like I was talking so fast in the first part. I don't know if that's indicative of like all the gossip that's going on, or just like all the talk that's going on in that group or with those people that you're with, but we're gonna get into what changes you need to make or what needs to change. So let's go ahead and see. Pile one. What change is needed? What change is needed in this situation, pile one? Magic. I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest. Sometimes I'll talk while they come out, but this time I'm gonna get all the cards before I start talking. Movement. All right, sweetness and ghost. Okay. I feel like ghost is kind of self-explanatory. Like, I feel like it's straight up telling you, like, you need to ghost these people. Like, don't waste any time. Don't try to keep them around. Like, it's time to just completely cut them off. I kind of get a younger energy from you, whoever it is that's watching this, whoever I'm reading for. So you might be in high school, and that's why you're dealing with these kinds of like petty things. But you know, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be younger. It could almost just be like I'm getting a very immature energy from these negative people in your life, and that's why I'm picking up on that. But I definitely think with the ghost card, like it's time to just completely cut off. And I feel like with the magic card, it's almost saying like you have this magical, wonderful, positive energy inside you that people are just drawn to. And I feel like unfortunately you've drawn really negative people to you. Like it'll draw really wonderful people to you and you can create this wonderful group of people that, you know, want to love and support each other. But these people that aren't happy with themselves are also drawn to that energy because they want it for themselves. And I feel like that's what you've got right now, unfortunately. And with this magic card, I feel like you're a really great person and you have so much to offer to this world. You have so much to offer to your friends and to the people that you keep around you. And it's like these people that you've been around have been really taking advantage of that. Taking advantage of your kindness. Like if you're like really like well off, they might even literally be taking advantage of you like money-wise, you know? And with movement, I think it's saying like it's time for you to like really remove yourself from this situation. And also on the flip side, I feel like once you do remove yourself from that situation, so many new positive things are going to be coming in for you. New people, new experiences. Just, I feel like it is scary to take that leap and be on your own and, you know, cut off these people that you've known for so long. But I feel like once you do, like all this abundance, all these new relationships are just waiting for you on the other side. And you just need to get yourself out of this like mucky energy of these people that don't want the best for you. Just get it out of there. And then there's going to be so much positivity on the other side for you. And with sweetness, it's like, I feel like you just have this like sweet, friendly, loving energy to give. And these people haven't been appreciating it the way that they should. And there are people out there that have just as much sweetness as you that want to create this beautiful friendship relationship with you. I feel like I feel it really strongly. I feel like you have these wonderful, wonderful people that want to come in and build this beautiful life, this beautiful friendship, these beautiful memories and experiences with you. But first, you need to get the hell out of wherever you are right now because it is so detrimental. Just ghost them. Trust me. With this ghost card, I think it's like you really need to just ghost these people. And I feel like even though it's scary, I think you yourself know that like it's not working. It's not making you happy. So why would you stay? What is it benefiting? The appearances that like, oh yeah, I'm around these people, like, you know, maybe they're popular, you know, for instance, like, and that's why you wanted so badly to be around them. But like, the reason those people are popular is because they put other people down and they think that they're better than everybody else. And when you hang around with those people, obviously they want to be on top. They're not going to let you be above them. So in order to uphold that, they have to push you down. And you don't deserve that. You deserve better. So get the hell out of there. Those aren't your people. They don't care about you. They don't give a shit about you. Ghost. Ghost, 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 ghost. You have so much magic to bring to the table. You have so much sweetness to bring to the table. And it's all going to come in so abundantly for you if you just remove yourself from that negative environment. I feel like that was pretty quick, but I also feel like it's a really simple, like, straight to the point message that, like, this is what it is, this is what you need to do. Like, it's not complex. And I feel like you already know that. It's just, you need a nudge. And I hope that this message is that nudge that you need. But we aren't quite done yet. I'm going to also get another oracle deck out, the Animal Apothecary Oracle deck. And with that, we're going to get, what advice do you need to hear right now? Honestly feel like it's going to be the same thing, but I feel like that deck gives a really wonderful message, and I feel like with how fast I've been talking, it'd be nice to slow down and read from that and give you a message directly from the universe of what advice do you need right now. So we're going to go ahead and shuffle and get right into that. All right, pile one, we're back with the final part of what advice do you need to hear right now? Here I have the Animal Apothecary Oracle Deck Guidebook, which we're going to be reading from, and I chose 3 cards for you. Well, I didn't choose them. I shuffled, but whatever, it was off camera. Anyways, let's go ahead and look at them. We have number 3, Evolve into Your Complexity. Number 5, Nourishment While Waiting. And number 31, Magnetism Through Gratitude. Now, I haven't even looked at the guidebook yet, but just looking at the words and the images, I feel like it makes a lot of sense. So I'm just gonna like go off intuition before I read. I think with this first card, Evolve into Your Complexity, I think it's saying, since you've been around all this negativity and since you've been put down for so long, I think you've been made to believe that you can't, like, not that you can't become your full potential, but that you don't even know that you have a fuller potential. Like, I feel like for so long you've been like, well, this is all that I can be. This is all that I am. I can't be, like, they've been telling me that this is as much as I can be. They've been telling me that this is how pretty I am, or this is how much I'm worth. And it's happened so much and it's happened for so long that it's become your entire reality. And like, when I look at this octopus, I'm like imagining that you for so long have just been thinking like, I have this one tentacle and that's all I have, that's all I'll ever have. And it's like they've convinced you of that to the point where you don't even realize that you have all 8 of these tentacles. You have so much more. You're so much more complex, and you need to just take a step out of this darkness so that you can realize your full potential, so that you can evolve into your complexity. Because there's so much more of you than you've been letting yourself believe, that they've been letting you believe. And when I saw Nourishment While Waiting, it made me think, like, during this, transitory period where you're in the process of, moving on from these people to better people, and you're inviting those better people into your life, I think it's telling you to nourish yourself, because for so long, I feel like you've almost been neglecting taking care of yourself. It could be physically, but I feel like emotionally, I think it's telling you, like, you need to be kinder to yourself. You need to, I know sometimes it can be stupid to say positive affirmations, like, I am worth it, I am beautiful, but I think it's like, you really need to take some time and look at the parts of you, like what do you love about yourself? What are your favorite parts of yourself? What makes you happy? What are you proud of yourself for? Like, ask yourself those questions. And if you can't list 3 things for each of those, then it's like, what happened? Because I'm sure that you are. You can't live this long and not be proud of yourself at all. You can't live this long and not love anything about yourself. And if you can't name those things, then I think it's because these people have really just bogged you down for so long that you've forgotten them. And so with nourishment while waiting, it's like you see this like baby chick needs time to gain that confidence back so that they can fully blossom and bloom. And like, once you have all that love for yourself, you're going to invite in all these people that love you, And it's not that you don't have any of this. It's not that you don't have any of this love for yourself. It's that you've just forgotten it. And it's been so dimmed. Like with the octopus, like you've always had all 8 of these tentacles. You've always had this full potential. It's just you've forgotten it. Like they put the blinders on you and you're like, oh, I don't have any tentacles. I'll never have any tentacles. I'm not even an octopus. But little did you know, you've had it all this time. You just need to remember it. You need to appreciate it. You need to appreciate yourself. And finally, with magnetism through gratitude, I think it's finally like combining the two. And it's saying that once you've practiced this gratitude, once you've practiced this self-love, and you've said all these affirmations and you've truly begun to believe them, that's when you're gonna start like magnetically attracting all these good things into your life. Not only is life gonna feel fuller and more beautiful and you're gonna be happy, but you're also gonna attract the kinds of people into your life that you want, not those negative people that, are no longer serving you. But I'm going to go ahead and read directly from the book so we can get the actual meanings of what these cards are supposed to mean. I'm pretty sure that they're very self-explanatory, but I really like the messages that they have in here, so we're also going to just get these really quick. I apologize if my reading isn't very good. I don't read aloud very often. So if it's like nails on a chalkboard, feel free to skip. I won't blame you. Anyways, number 3, evolve into your complexity. Octopus is a shapeshifter, able to change the color and texture of her skin to camouflage her appearance. She's an excellent escape artist and exceptionally intelligent. Octopus evolved into her greatness, her profound complexity, through all the difficulties she endured. Her need to survive and endure every situation that caused her fear and suffering is literally what evolved her into the magnificent creature she currently is. Octopus's medicine teaches us about the difficult journey towards the evolution of our highest self, who is our true self. This card represents the moment of sprouting, the seed ripping open to blossom into what it has always been destined to become. This may not have been an easy or comfortable moment. The fortitude of Octopus is needed here. As scary situations, self-doubt, and challenges approach, stand strong in the inner knowing that difficult moments are a catalyst for evolution. See the test, and even if you're shaking, yell to the world, I will keep going. See the limiting beliefs on your knees, crying and screaming, I will still keep going. See the loss of something special with shattering heart and profess, I will keep going. All ventures will be faced with limitations, difficulties, and tests. Instead of resisting the inevitable hardships, accept them for what they are, catalysts for growth into much more complex and profound versions of yourself. When a mother resists the pain of childbirth, the labor takes much longer. When the mother surrenders and allows the pain to move through her, the birth progresses much faster. Once you accept the universal law that all beings suffer for growth, you will pass through suffering more quickly. Octopus's medicine asks you to have steadfast endurance in moments of difficulties and to understand you're rapidly evolving, and this is just a test in the school of life. Okay, well, I I feel like honestly that's really a straightforward message of you just need to face the suffering so you can move through it and grow. I feel like especially with the very beginning when I was doing the tarot and I said, like, you've been ignoring this judgment moment, or this moment where the universe has been telling you like it's time to do this thing, and you've just been resisting and almost keeping yourself here where these people, this situation is no longer serving you. You know it's no longer serving you, but you're just keeping yourself here. And I'm sure that you have your reasons. I'm sure there are definitely reasons why it's difficult to move past. I mean, obviously, like it says, it's going to be painful to move through it. But once you stop resisting and you accept that it's going to be painful, but there's a greener pasture on the other side, you're going to get to that greener pasture. It's like you're trying to swim against the current of a river. But once you just be like, okay, the river is going to take me, it'll take you somewhere that, you're not even going to miss what was up the river before, But anyways, let's quickly go on to number 5, nourishment while waiting. Hawk is a power bird with big medicine. Hawk is fearless, the visionary, the messenger, and the balanced one. Hawk is your highest self. Baby Hawk in this image represents the part of you with an overwhelming desire to step into who you fully are and fulfill your purpose. Mouse represents the nourishment that Baby Hawk will need to develop into her most fulfilled self. Baby Hawk teaches us the wisdom of nourishment while waiting. This is a moment of patience. What will you do while you wait for your vision to manifest? The flower blossoms in its own time, but the gardener cultivates the seed's growth. The gardener ensures the seed's fullest development by nourishing it, pulling the weeds that threaten it, and planting the seed. While you wait for the next step to be revealed, you must similarly prepare yourself for success. Baby Hawk needs to be nourished before she can achieve all her greatness as adult Hawk, and this is why you must nourish yourself on every possible level. Ask yourself what skills your future self holds that you currently do not, then start researching and practicing them. Once you grow and develop these skills, you step into your highest self. Wise old Hawk looks back on her past self and shares the medicine to not just wait in patience, but to learn while you wait. Stay persistent on your path towards growth and develop and strengthen yourself, for it is the consistent nourishment to become your greatest self that magnetizes you towards dreams unimaginable to you now. Yeah, I mean, it's like I was saying before when I was first talking about this card. You need to nourish yourself. Nourish yourself and ask yourself, what kinds of people do you want to invite into your life? Do you want to invite people that are self-conscious, that don't care about themselves and therefore won't care about you? Or do you want people that are confident, that radiate love, that radiate, care for others, that are happy and excited about life? And in order to invite those people into your life, you need to be those kinds of people. Because once you become that kind of person and you fully embody that kind of person, that's when those other people like that will become magnetized towards you. So, embody your most confident self. Embody your happiest self. Look towards life with a more positive outlook. When you tell yourself, I can't do certain things, work towards it until you can, Be the kind of person that you would want to be friends with, is the best way I can say it. It's like, if you've ever tried manifesting something, it's a lot like that, where you kind of pretend like you already have it until you do have it, if that makes sense. So act the way that you would want your friends to act. Act and become the kind of person that you would want to be friends with. I hope that makes sense. Anyways, we're going to finally read number 31, Magnetism Through Gratitude. And then that will be the end. All right, number 31, the turkey. Turkey's medicine comes to speak to us about abundance and prosperity through the virtue of gratitude. When we're thankful for what we currently have, life draws us to more things to be grateful for. You're on the verge of super magnetism. Turkey medicine says you draw in dynamic levels of abundance through gratitude. Creating and continuously deepening your practice of gratitude will act like a spark that ignites the charge of your magnetism. What accomplishments have you achieved? What desires have you worked so hard towards that have manifested? Focus on these achievements and truly appreciate them. A wonderful daily practice is creating a gratitude journal. Take a few moments every day to write down all the things you're grateful for, to really connect to the feeling of gratitude. Try listening to music that moves you deeply while writing in your journal. If you want to take it a step further, try gratitude dancing. Put on the music that amps you up, move and dance in gratitude, and thank the universe for all you have received and will receive. This is a powerful technique and lots of fun to do with friends too. Your job is to get excited about the generosity of the universe now, and start saying thank you. Through this, you'll find a level of fulfillment that will bestow joy in new ways for you. Remember to make sure to include gratitude about the unknown in your practice too. Turkey's medicine comes when something special and profound is being conjured up in the universe for you to receive. Discipline your gratitude practice and get ready for your magnetism to ignite. So it's like I said about the manifestation, be what you want to have. When you practice more gratitude, life brings you more abundance. And, gratitude journal isn't a bad idea too. It's a good way to really amp up your positivity. When you start becoming more positive about life, it changes your outlook, it changes your perspective. And it also changes the way that you act and the way that people view you. And I think to summarize all of this, it's really just saying, the universe recognizes that you've been in a really dark spot. And they recognize, and you recognize, that the issue is the people that you've been keeping around you, but also how those people have been affecting you mentally. As they've been bringing you down, you've started bringing yourself down too. And it's time to physically remove yourself from that negativity, remove yourself from those people, and start changing your mindset, start changing the way that you speak to yourself in your head, the way that you react to things. Your perspective is so important. The way that you view the world shapes the entire way that your mind thinks. And if you start changing these little things, start practicing gratitude, start viewing things more positively, eventually you'll get yourself out of that dark rut, and you're going to start bringing in so much abundance, so much positivity, and truly great friends that will actually care about you unconditionally, and that won't be sending you these bad vibes that make you feel like shit all the time. So I really hope that this gave you some good advice. I hope it helped bring some clarity on what changes you need and the situation that you're in. And I wish you the very best. I really hope that you can invite this gratitude and positivity in your life. So anyways, if you enjoyed your reading, please support in any way you can. Even just a thumbs up is great. It helps me out a ton. Subscribe if you like. I try to upload every week, though recently I haven't been able to upload because I got sick with the flu, and then there was the holidays, and then I had to work. But I'm going to try to get back on the wagon. I try posting every week, so if you're into that, go ahead and subscribe, but of course, not obligated. I also do private readings if you want to check those out in the description. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a good one. Bye-bye. All right, welcome Pile 2. If you chose the yellow jasper, then this is going to be your reading. I want to just start by saying I hope that the background noise isn't too much. I do have people over. I don't know why I decide to film every time there's going to be a bunch of people over at my house, but anyways, I hope it's not that big of a deal. Anyways, we're going to start off with tarot. We're going to look at what the current situation is that you've been needing a change in. And then after that, I'm going to use the Prism Oracle deck to get what it is exactly that you need to change. What change do you need to make? And then finally, we're going to end with the Animal Apothecary deck for what advice do you need to hear. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get your cards, and then we'll get right into it. Okay, Pile 2. I hope everything is in frame. I haven't really gotten time to adjust because I have kind of an interesting message that I wasn't expecting, because it does have to do with love life. So this is going to be a very specific message for some of you, and if that's not really what's resonating with you, then I suggest trying a different pile, or it could just be that this reading isn't for you at all, which I'm sorry if you were really looking for a reading. But for those of you that were drawn to Pile 2 with the yellow jasper, I feel like, objectively from an outside perspective, it seems like your life is really good. Your life is really stable. You've got all the resources you need, and I think I think a lot of you are in a relationship that you're just unhappy with. Even though, you know, it's not like anything is necessarily bad. You're just with somebody that you don't feel a whole lot of passion for. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like they offer you a lot of stability. They might even actually, I just got the idea that this could be somebody that your family is really fond of. Like somebody your family approves of, and that's like kind of rare, maybe for you. And so I feel like you almost get this feeling like, well, everything's fine. I can make it work with this person. I'm just gonna stay with this person because this is the kind of person that I'm supposed to be with. But I think your heart's been pulling you in a different direction, and it's like, you can tell yourself all day that this is the right relationship for me, but if it's not, it's just not. And I think lately, you've been thinking about somebody from your past. It could be an ex, it could be somebody that, things didn't really ever work out with and you just ended up with this person, but I think that there's somebody from your past that you haven't been able to get out of your mind. You might be dreaming about this person, or you might be seeing like their Instagram posts popping up, or your friend might have mentioned them. For some reason, they're on your mind and you can't seem to stop thinking about them. And it could have been somebody that you knew and were with when you were much younger. And, you tried moving on from that, but for some reason, you still feel something for them. And I feel like you're almost torn between choosing stability with this person that you're with, choosing, monetary stability and the stability of like your family liking them and things just being okay with them, and choosing passion and love and somebody that lights your heart on fire, that lights your soul on fire, somebody that you want. And it's hard because right now you're this 10 of Pentacles that's like, the 10 of Pentacles is all about abundance, completion, like everything's fine. You have everything you could ever need. You're the Empress. Like for some of you, I don't know, I'm getting like a feminine energy. That doesn't mean that all of you need to be women, but in my mind, I'm almost picturing like a woman that's like, she doesn't need to work because she's with somebody that just makes so much money that she can just spend it. You can just do whatever you want. You could be, stay-at-home girlfriend. For all I know. Like, you have everything that should make you happy. But for some reason, you're heartbroken. And I think it's because this person you're with, like, they provide you everything except for that passion that you're so yearning for. And I think it's really tough because I think you do care about this person that you're with. It's just not in the same way that you cared about that other person. Like you have this 10 of Cups, which is the happy family card, where there's this completion, there's, your family's happy. I don't know why I get the sense that like your parents' opinion or their parents' opinion is really important in this relationship for some reason. But it almost feels like you're living out this fairy tale life where everybody's happy and it's supposed to be happily ever after, and you're hearing the end credits of the movie that's supposed to be happily ever after, but you haven't felt that happiness, and like you're waiting for it and the music is still playing but the movie's not over, and you're like, why am I not satisfied? Why am I not getting that feeling that I'm supposed to be getting? And it's like, even though you're in this happy family moment with this 10 of Cups, you're this hermit reversed. It's like on the inside, you feel so blue and so low, and you feel lonely, even though you're in this relationship where you're supposed to be happy. Everything's supposed to be okay, but why isn't it okay? Why do I feel the way that I do? Why do I feel so upset? Why do I feel so alone? Why am I still thinking about that person? And I feel like you're this Queen of Cups, and you've been doing a lot of reminiscing, and you've been really nostalgic and thinking about this past relationship, thinking about this past person, this person that you used to desire so much, and you're wondering where they are and what they're doing. You're wondering if they miss you, and like you're literally pining for them. You're this 2 of Wands guy that's like standing on the edge of this castle and staring off at what could have been Like, it's almost like, actually, if you look at these two cards together, I hope the camera's focusing, but you see this man and this woman. The woman is on the edge of the sand staring off at the ocean, and the man is at the edge of the castle staring off at the world. And it's like these two like lovers that are torn apart, and they're both like looking off to see if they can see each other, but they're on opposite ends of the world. Like, you and this person, I feel like, are mirroring each other, and honestly, I feel like they miss you just as much as you miss them. And I think that they've almost accepted that you're no longer attainable because you're with this other person. You have everything, and it's like, what can I offer except for my love? What can I offer except for my passion? When she has this stability, not that you're a she, you could be anything, just again, I'm going off vibe. Your person is wondering, what do I have to offer that can compete with this person? But little do they know, like, you basically belong to them, like, body and soul, but you're just with the person that you're with because it worked out that way. And it makes everybody happy except for you. Like, straight up, it makes everybody happy, and you want to make everybody happy, but at the end of the day, not to get dark, but at the end of the day, when you're at the end of your life and you're on your deathbed, are you going to be happy living the life where you chose stability and you chose everybody else's happiness? Or are you still going to be regretting not being with the person that set your soul on fire? Like, damn, I didn't mean to get like that deep, but I don't know, I'm getting a really strong vibe here that that's the situation that's going on. And that'll be pretty specific for some of you, but it's a very specific message. What can I say? And then on the bottom of the deck energy, you have this Knight of Cups, which is a young man coming in with a message, an emotional message. So, not that your person is a young man, again, can be any gender, but I think your person, the one that you have these feelings for, is going to try to reach out in some way, because I think they still feel the same way that you do. And I feel like it's, for them, it's like a shot in the dark, because they're not sure if you still feel the same way, but they need to try. And it's like they're just hoping that you're willing to try too. And I know that that's like extremely hard, but I feel like if you're watching this video and you've watched to this point and you're like, it's hitting for you, I don't know, I hope you make the decision that makes you happiest, as difficult as it might be. Now, that was very deep. I'm gonna go ahead and put these away, and then we're gonna get into the Prism Oracle deck, which will give you an idea of exactly what change you need to make. So give me a second, I'll get those cards, and then we'll go ahead and shuffle. All right, pile two. I wasn't expecting such a heavy message, but here we are. Anyways, I've got the Prism Oracle deck out. Let's go ahead and see what change needs to be made for you. What change do you need to make? Why did you come to this video in the first place? What change do you need to make, pile two? Sweetness, magic. That's interesting. I actually, in the pile one, they also got these two cards, which, random. Okay, anyways. Maybe it's the vibe. What's in the air? Everybody's going through the same thing, huh? Pile two, what change needs to be made? Pile two. Intuition. And anxiety. Okay. Lots of purple here. Purple could be your favorite color, or it could be your person's favorite color. It could just be a significant color, or that could all be bullshit. Don't listen to me. Anyways, I feel like with the intuition card, I want to say that you and your person, I'm just going to call them person B. Currently you're with person A, but person B is the one that's on your mind, obviously. Person B and you are linked intuitively. You guys could be a karmic connection of some kind, be it soulmate, twin flame. I can't label it because obviously this reading is meant for more than one person. But I do think that on some level you are linked intuitively with your person, meaning you could be meeting each other in dreams. When they think of you, you think of them. That could be why they've been on your mind so much. It could be like you receive like thoughts, feelings, or emotions from your person when they feel them. And I think also you know that you have a stronger bond with this person, intuitively, emotionally, spiritually, than you ever could with person A. And with the magic card, I feel like when you're with this person, you feel such a level of completion. I can only describe it as like magic. It's like, to go back to the Disney thing, it's like when two people are meant to be with each other and it just feels magical. Like, and that's why person A, like, sadly is stable and as nice and as sweet as they probably are, they just can't compete because the person that you're bonded to, the person that you feel this magic and this passion and this love for, is person B. And I feel like you're missing, you know, with the sweetness card, you're missing the sweetness that you felt with this person. You're missing the connection. You can see with the intuition card and the magic card literally have these like overlapping circles that almost look like Venn diagrams. It's literally like two people linked that are literally like, they're so close that they're a part of one another. So honestly, like, it could be a twin flame situation that you have going on, and that's why you feel so bonded to this person with like the linking. Because if you don't know, twin flames are supposed to be two halves of the same soul. So they're literally a part of one another. And I think it's funny, like, the glaring, like, complete opposite of the color wheel from purple card is like this neon green anxiety card. And I feel like with anxiety, it's like a big reason why you're not going to take yourself out of this situation, why you want to stay with person A because it's just easy, is because leaving and the uncertainty causes so much anxiety. Like, you don't know if person B is going to take you back, or if they even want you as much as you want them, or, you know, maybe you guys do want each other just as much, but where will that relationship go? There's so much stability with person A, like, you don't know what could happen with person B. For all you know, things could go up in flames, you know? And so I feel like you feel so much for person B. You guys are so linked. There's so much sweetness, there's magic, and there's completion, but, you know, there's also this anxiety that keeps you away from all that. And so with what change you should make, I don't think I can make that decision for you. You know, for some things, it's cut and dry. Like pile one, yeah, there was a definite change that they needed to make. Like the universe was pushing them towards it. But with you, it's like you're at a crossroads. And the universe is telling you, like, you can choose love, you can choose passion, you can choose true happiness, but, you know, a little bit of uncertainty. Or you could choose certainty. You know exactly where it's going to lead. You know exactly how you're going to feel, and you know that it's going to make you unhappy because you're unhappy right now. And I can't make the decision for you because, you know, it'd be easy in a world where money doesn't matter or where families' opinions don't matter, but this is the real world, and honestly, that stuff does matter. So, like, I'm sorry it's such a heavy reading and I can't just make the decision for you, but I think you know that you're at this crossroads. And it's truly a decision that only you can make. And I wish I could tell you, like, exactly what to do, but yeah, I'm just as stumped as you are. But not to put my own opinion in there, but I've always been the type to follow my heart, even if it's not practical. And I've been pushed when, like, I tried to follow the practical thing and it wasn't working out. I was literally pushed away from it because I was supposed to follow my heart. And not everybody's going to be able to do that. But when I'm picturing you in my mind, I'm picturing this, like, lonesome person whose spouse doesn't really give them the love that they're looking for, whose hair gets grayer and grayer and whose skin gets wrinklier and wrinklier, but all this time they've just been staring out this window at what they want and not moving. They've just been staring at what they want and they haven't been able to chase it. And I think you should chase it while you're young. For some of you, you might not be young anymore, but honestly, there's no such thing as too old to follow your heart. You know, and maybe one day you'll finally decide, like, I'm ready, but it might be too late. And what will you do then? Not to put that, like, heavy decision on you, but I think you should really consider what you want your life to look like 10 years from now. Because that 10 years date is going to come inevitably. And 10 years from now, do you want to still be staring out that window at what could have been, at what you could have had when it's too late? Or 10 years from now, will you be, you know, happy? Maybe, like, if we're going off the monetary analogy, like, maybe you're pinching pennies, but happy, you know? I don't know. Everybody's situation is different, but I really hope that you do what makes you happiest. But anyways, sorry, that was really heavy. I'm going to go ahead and do the Animal Apothecary Oracle deck, and we're going to get any final advice that you need to hear from spirit guides, from the universe, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and get those cards, and we'll be right back. All right, pile 2. We're back with the final part of just what advice do you need to hear about this situation and about this change. It's obviously a very heavy situation, that much is clear having gotten this far, but if you're still with me, I hope I can help you out any way I can. So let's look at what advice do you need to hear right now, pile 2? What advice do you need to hear about this situation and about this change? Nourish the shadow. Claim your power. All right, and one final one, get out of your head. All right. Now, I'm actually going to read from the guidebook because this is actually a new deck for me, so I don't know all the cards quite yet, but we're going to start with number 33, Nourish the Shadow. I really like the art on these decks. I think it's super cool. Okay, Jaguar. I just want to say I apologize if my reading sounds like nails on a chalkboard. I'm not very good at reading aloud, so if you don't want to hear this, you can just leave. I wouldn't blame you. But anyways. Jaguar represents the shadow, the subconscious aspects of ourselves we push away. Carl Jung said these aspects usually stem from situations we encountered as children that lead us to feel shame, unworthiness, and abandonment. We then live out these programmed beliefs as adults. Jaguar comes to speak to us about nourishing our shadow. In this image, we see her drinking from a well of wholeness. The well in this image, inspired by Jungian analyst Marion Woodman, is our place of nourishment and absolute wholeness. Water is where all life comes from. Without it, we have no vitality. Many of us ignore and starve our shadow aspects because they cause us so much pain. We push them away and deeply criticize them. We chain our jaguar shadow and confine her to the furthest part of the backyard of our minds. She howls and cries for nourishment, yet we still ignore her. In her banishment, because of the lack of love, her power grows as the master of self-sabotage. Ironically, if you would begin a relationship with her, you'd find that she is your greatest asset and leads to fulfilling your life's purpose. Funny that we instinctively banish her. Jaguar's medicine asks you to create a self-talk relationship with yourself and to ride the wave of hurt within. Every time a painful feeling arises, you must now tell yourself, I am right here to feel this with you. I accept this uncomfortable feeling and I will ride it out with you. I am here to feel this with you. If you do this, the emotion will always detox out and dissipate, leading to a much quicker healing. But you must be strong and endure the pain. Commit to riding the waves of emotion together within yourself. This is the nourishment your jaguar shadow requests. If you witness her, she will start showing you a new and indestructible power within. Your shadow is where your diamond lives. So, number 33, Nourish the Shadow. If you've never heard of shadow work, this card is actually talking about shadow work, which is essentially, anytime something has hurt you, especially when you're young, it becomes this thing that kind of forms how we react to things. Like, let's say when you were like 5, someone told you, you'll never be able to ride a bike. And so throughout your whole life, like, you never tried riding a bike, then you became like afraid of bikes, and then anytime somebody talked about bikes, you couldn't hear it and like it hurt you for some reason. Doing shadow work would be like addressing why you feel the way you do, and so that you can be like, you know what, I can ride a bike. I know that's like a really random analogy, but for some reason, Spirit is telling you that you need to look within yourself and see, what is it that's making me so upset? What is it that's being detrimental to me, being detrimental to my mental health? What's making me behave the way that I do? And I feel like if you do this shadow work, it might help you unlock something that you need to help you along this journey that you're in, this current situation that you're in. I feel like it's different for everybody, but I feel like there's a certain shadow aspect that you need to address and that you need to learn about yourself and work through. And once you do that, it'll make this whole situation and making this decision for yourself a lot easier. And I feel like that's why I wasn't able to just be like, you should make this decision, you should do this, because I think you still have work to do on yourself before you make that decision. So, take it as like a rest assured, you don't need to make any rash decisions right now about this thing that you're going through. Like, you have time, specifically you have time to work on your shadow aspects. And if you don't know where to start, I recommend looking up shadow work prompts on Google, Safari, whatever you use. And they're basically like writing prompts, except you don't need to write. Some people just speak aloud to themselves and answer it like, it's almost like a question that a therapist would ask you. And as you go through like these lists of prompts, it helps you understand better, like, oh, that's why I react the way I do to things. Oh, that's why I behave that way. Oh, that's why this thing scares me. Oh, that's why I can't make that decision. And I feel like you're almost being divinely guided to shadow work, because there's something out there that you're meant to read that will unlock some sort of like aha moment for you. I don't know why I have that feeling, but nonetheless, even if it doesn't, shadow work, it can help anybody. It's really good for self-growth, and I think the universe is telling you that you need to do it for some reason. So maybe listen to that, maybe don't. I'm not the boss of you. But anyways, let's move on to number 25, Claim Your Power. All right, the tiger. Anyone face to face with a tiger instantly shifts into the state of respect for her prolific power. Tiger summons you to connect with your greatest power, to overcome yourself, to overcome your doubts, fears, insecurities, and illusions of the ego, and to use boundaries. Okay, before I keep reading, I think it's really interesting. This almost links to shadow work. I think specifically what it is that you need to do shadow work on could be those doubts, fears, insecurities, and illusions of ego that this specific card is talking about. So it could be a common theme, throughout. While many of the animals in the Apothecary deck ask you to be accepting of your emotions, when this card comes up, it means enough is enough. Tiger does not appear now with the feminine energy of allowing. This is the masculine energy of taking action and creating what you want. It is time to care more about the end goal than the heavy emotions that you are currently feeling. Okay, like before, sorry to interrupt again, but it's literally like with the one anxiety card versus all of the other things. Like, get out of the emotions and like take what it is that you want. Like, take it, grab it by the you know what, and just do it. The action called for here is snap out of the illusion and get your thoughts in gear. When you change your thoughts of the world around you changes. Get in control of your thoughts and transform the story you tell yourself. You are not your feelings, so stop mistaking them for your identity. Shift perspective, conquer your emotions, and carve the life you desire. You can no longer submit to the identities and definitions that you once projected on yourself and others. It is time to move forward and initiate your power. When you stand in your greatness like a tiger, you have nothing to prove, for you just are. True power is not dictated or enforced. It is an energy that magnetizes others to want to help you in your cause. Once someone has to prove and display their strength, they've already lost it. Tiger's medicine says, stop playing the victim of circumstance. Stop playing the victim of circumstance. Sorry to stop again, but this is making me think about the family thing again. I think not only do you want to appeal to, for instance, being with this person that your family approves of, but it's because you haven't really stepped into your power and being no, this is what I want. You've kind of just let people dictate what it is you should have, what it is you should want. And it's made you almost believe okay, yeah, this is what I should want. But obviously it's not what you want because you've made it this far through the reading and you've probably agreed with what I've been saying. You know what you truly want is something else. You've just been convincing yourself that what you have right now is what you should want. But it's not. I don't know how to make it more clear than that. But anyways, let me continue. Your power is even greater than tigers, yet you wallow in the smallness and self-pity. How strange it is that one with so much power is so blinded by it. You feel imprisoned by your circumstances, yet the only prism is the story you painted over your circumstances. Tiger's medicine is to wake up, get real, change your story, change your life, claim your power. Okay, well, I know that I said I shouldn't make the decision for you, but it almost seems like the universe, your guides, whoever are literally telling you, just take it, do it, claim your power. Because, as long as you continue with, yeah, it's stable, yeah, it makes your family happy, yeah, it's easy, but it's just that it's easy. You need to, step up. Ask yourself, what do you want? What kind of life do you want to live? What kind of person do you want to be? If you want children, what kind of person do you want your children to look up to? If you already have children, well, it's a little more complicated. But I think that your children, if you have children, this is a specific message for if you already have children with this person that you're with, your children are going to grow up and they're not going to keep up this image of oh, my parents love each other. They're going to start to notice. Once they hit their teens, the illusion is gone. They're going to see how you truly feel about this person that you're with. Because, they're going to be critical thinkers. And you can't keep up an illusion forever. They're going to be the kind of people that, they know you. They see you every day. They know who you are. And, if you're married and you have children with this person, if you've never been around people that have been had divorced parents, some of them will even tell you divorce is the best thing that ever happened to me because they could see how unhappy their parents were. And if you lead this unhappy life and try to pretend it's all okay, eventually your kids will take notice that it's all a facade. And then they'll start to wish that you had chosen happiness because it'll make them sad seeing you like this. And knowing that, possibly they could even be to blame. They might start blaming themselves and then, I'm sorry, that's a lot, but if you lead your life as your most authentic self and you choose what makes you happy and you lead your best life, people will see it and they'll be happy for you. They'll be proud of you, and especially your children will be like you. Do you want them to be this person that doesn't choose their happiness, just like your family has put onto you? You need to break the cycle, literally claim your power. I'm sorry, there's a very specific message for somebody that needed to hear it, but I'm gonna go ahead and finish because this has already taken so long. But we're gonna go ahead and get to the last one. Get Out of Your Head, number 37. It's a really cool picture, honestly. I would put that on a t-shirt. Sorry for a joke if you've been just really upset what I just said by what I said. But anyways, number 37, get out of your head. When you cut off a chicken's head, a burst of electricity runs through its body's nervous system, causing the chicken to run in circles and flap its wings. This is symbolic of the intrusive and obsessive thoughts we think and allow to run circles around us, even though they rarely hold any real basis in truth. Chicken head's medicine appears when it's time to put an end to the chicken in your head dictating your life. Yeah, don't let anything dictate your life. Let you run your life. Let you rule your life. Sorry, anyways. Witness the thought and understand that you have power over it. Your power is to know it's just a thought, and if it minimizes you, it's not true, no matter how real it may feel. If it makes you feel less than and powerless, then there is no way it's true, because you are quite literally a scientific miracle connected to the infinite, ever-expanding universe. Chicken Head's medicine asks you to take a big sigh of relief, because whatever is currently keeping you in your head will work itself out. You are safe, and you will find the solution, and the issue will resolve itself. Whatever you're currently dealing with is for your greater good, no matter how much the chicken tells you it's not. In fact, Chicken Head's medicine brings an exciting confirmation. If you're dealing with a current situation that feels disappointing and has you obsessively thinking about it, you're being asked to understand that this difficulty had to happen to lead you to what you truly want. Oh my god, bro, word for word, I couldn't even make that up if I tried. Like, can you see that? For whatever reason, there is a lesson being learned, and in learning this lesson, you will lead yourself to what your heart desires. Dude, bro. I couldn't make it up even if I tried. Chicken Head's medicine demands you get out of your head now because everything is going to work out. So there you have it. Get out of your head, do shadow work to fix whatever it is that's bogging you down in your mind, and claim your power. Literally, boom, done. I can't say it better than that. So without further ado, I'm really sorry if this reading upset you. Not because I'm trying to be oh, don't worry about it. I mean it's a very deep, for those of you that were meant to hear this, it's obviously very hard to hear, but you need to get out of there. You're meant to be with someone else. And it's not, at the end of the day, it's not even really about that person. It's not about being with that person. The whole reason that you're on this journey, and I really hope that you guys are still here to hear this, it's really to just claim your power, to choose what you want, and to learn to not let what other people want rule your life, because it's your life. And living your life for someone else is no way to live your life. So while it's yeah, you have this dilemma of I'm with this person, but I don't really want to be with them. I want to be with this other person. It's not about the people. It's about you. And it's about you learning to choose what you really want in life. You learning to not let other people dictate your life for you. And claiming your power, standing in your power so you can be your own person and be you don't own me. I make my own life. I make my own rules. Within reason. You can't go crazy, but yeah, it took me until the very end of the reading to have that realization, but I hope you stand in your power, and I hope you don't let other people dictate your life, because if you really want to be with this person, this stable person that, is kind of meh, and okay, it's all right. If that's what you want, then do it. But don't do it because it's what other people want. Do what you want for you. That's all I have for you. If you made it this far, thank you so much. Give it a like if you liked it. Subscribe if you want more readings. I tried to do them every week, but sometimes things are spotty. I was just sick, and it is currently the holidays right now, so it's a little bit difficult to keep up, but I do my best to post once a week, so if you want more of that, stick around. I also provide personal readings if you want to check in the description box below, but that's all I have for you. I hope you're okay. I hope you got some good advice from this, and I truly wish you the best in your situation. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. All right, pile 3, welcome. If you chose the green agate, then this is going to be the reading for you. We're going to start with the tarot to see just what is the current situation that you're in that you feel like you want to change in, or just what's going on that you feel like something's not right, that you're not on the right path, that you need a change. So we're going to do tarot on that, and then after that we're going to do We're going to use the Prism Oracle deck, and that's going to be all about what exactly it is that you need to change, like what change do you need to make. And then finally, we're going to end with the Animal Apothecary deck for some extra advice that you need to hear right now. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle, and then we'll get right into it. All right, pile 3. I just got your tarot, and I feel like your reading today has to deal with your current career path, or you're on some sort of path. It could be school, but it has to do with what you want to do in life. If that's not the kind of change that you were looking for, it could be that this isn't the pile for you. So I recommend checking out a different pile if that doesn't sound like your kind of thing. If none of them seem to resonate, it could just be that this isn't the reading for you. But for those of you that are wondering about your career path and you're like, something needs to change, I feel like it's actually you didn't want things to change, but this change is almost being thrust upon you. And the reason I feel like that is because, well, there's actually multiple reasons I've been feeling like that, but I feel like for so long you've been this emperor card where, he's suited up in armor, he's really stiff, he's sitting on this concrete throne, and he's gripping onto whatever that is, a cross or something, and it's he's trying his best to maintain his power. And I feel like that's you trying your best to pursue, I'll call it a career for now. It could be something else for someone else, but I feel like there's this, career path that you've been trying to go down, or this thing that you've been studying or going to school for, and you've been trying so hard, and you've been you're this Ace of Swords, this action. You're okay, if I keep working at it and I keep going and I keep throwing all this effort at it, it's gonna work out eventually. And it's you're trying so hard, you're literally holding on, you're suited up, and all your muscles are tensed, and you're not letting yourself relax at all. And you're this is my only option. This is the only path that I'm able to go down. This is the only path I'm allowed to go down. Straying off the path isn't an option. But it's the universe is trying to tell you, this isn't the right path. And it's the more you try to resist, the more you keep getting hit with these roadblocks. I think you keep getting hit with tower moment after tower moment. If you don't know what the tower card is or the tower moment, it's literally these people tried staying in this tower, and then it got struck by lightning, and now they're literally flung off the tower. Catastrophe is striking. You're being hit with lightning, and they're telling you, get the hell out of that tower. It's not meant for you. And you keep climbing back in the tower, and you're no, I'm supposed to stay here. I'm gonna make it work. I can make the tower work. And they're bro, we're gonna keep striking you with lightning because it's not working. This ain't it. And you're I can make it work. And I think it's funny with these two cards in the middle, this Nine of Wands and the Death card, it almost looks like death is literally coming for this Nine of Wands guy. And the guy in the Nine of Wands, he's bandaged up, and he looks all scared, and he's no, don't come for me. But death keeps marching on. And the Death card is all about change, and I feel like this change is literally trying to chase you down and be it's time for a change. Are you gonna accept it yet? Are you going to accept it? If you don't accept it, you're going to keep getting hit with these roadblocks. You're going to keep getting hit with these changes and this tower moment. And it's bro, how long can you resist? How long are you going to try to keep evading this change? It's not going to work, so just let yourself relax. Just let yourself go with the flow. Quit resisting. So I feel for a lot of you that were drawn to this pile, you've been resisting this change for so long. You're literally this Four of Swords. It's nope, I'm covering my ears. I'm going la 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 la, I can't hear it. I'm not listening. This judgment moment is trying to be the universe is giving you all these signs and telling you putting all these roadblocks in your path because it's not the right path. And you're blah, 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 blah. I can't hear you. I'm going to keep going down the path. And it's it's time to wake up. It's time to get out of this coma. It's time to realize this isn't the path for you. You can try to be strong all you want, and you can throw as many swords at the problem as you want. With this Ace of Swords, it's making me think you're literally throwing things at the problem and trying to make the problem solve itself. But it's that's not gonna work. And I feel you're exhausting yourself trying to make this work. And it's how long can you do this? How long can you keep putting up this front until you collapse from fatigue, until you literally pass out? And I think the universe keeps hitting you with these tower moments because there's a different path that you're meant to follow. It's a path that will not only make you happier, but will make you feel more fulfilled emotionally, spiritually, creatively. You know, for some of you, you could be a very creative person that was thrust down this very, like, conventional path. And you're just not meant to be a conventional person. And the universe is trying to tell you, like, you know, you can try to put on this suit and, like, play business person all day, but you're not business person. You're just wearing a suit. And you know deep down, like with this world card reversed, this path that you're on is not fulfilling you. You could be doing this for someone else, like for your parents. Maybe your parents are telling you, like, this is what you should be doing. This is what you should do with your life. This is what good people do with their life. And so you're just trying to do it. Or it could be like, maybe your friends around you are all going down this path. And so you're like, okay, I guess I'll follow them. I'll do the same path because people that don't follow that path are weird. But it's like you're like a parakeet trying to fit in with seagulls. Like, you're not a seagull. You're a colorful parakeet. You're not meant to be at the beach. You're supposed to be in the jungle. I think that's where parakeets are supposed to be. Honestly, on islands, they probably are near a beach, but you know what I'm saying. You're in the wrong environment. And not only is this path that you're going down not going to make you feel fulfilled in the end, but it's literally like you're like a snake and somebody's rubbing your scales the wrong way. Like, it's like each step along the way is painful. It feels wrong. And I feel like you're unhappy in your environment. You're unhappy with what you're doing right now. And, you know, I don't think that you think that this change is, like, possible. But, like, not possible as in, like, maybe it's not an option to you because everybody in your life is like, you need to do this. But the universe is telling you, like, nuh-uh, you're meant for something else. And it's like, once you surrender, which is the hardest part, trust me, once you surrender, everything feels easy. And all of a sudden it feels like, you know, even if there's uncertainty, you're like, okay, I have faith, I have trust. And it starts to feel like you know that there's something meant for you down the line. And so that anxiety starts to ease up because you're like, you know you're being guided. You know you're being guided down the right path. And I think you are. I think you were meant to see this because there's a different path that you're meant to go down. You're meant to diverge from this path. And with the 7 of Cups on the bottom of the deck, I think it's like once you go down that other path, all these new opportunities, all these other possibilities are going to be opened up to you. And there's going to be, I said it in pile 1's reading, but there's a much greener pasture for you on the other side. You just need to have the strength to go to it. And I know it's super scary. It's like once you go with the flow, it becomes so much easier. And it's like a weight lifted off of you. And it stops being scary because you realize it just feels right. I don't know how to explain it, but once you do it, it starts just feeling right. And, you know, back to the snake analogy, they're no longer rubbing your scales the right way. Now they're petting you, and now it feels comfortable, and now you can relax. Now you get off this concrete, hard, cold throne. You can take the armor off and let your muscles relax and just melt. Like, it's honestly such a relief when you just go with the flow, and I feel like the universe is literally, it's like, the best way I can describe it is roadblocks. Like, it's literally roadblock after roadblock in your path. Like, if we're going off of, like, the school and, like, studying analogy, like, maybe you've been failing every class that you've tried, and you're like, why am I failing? These aren't hard classes. And it's like, it's because those are roadblocks. It's because what you're doing is not what you're supposed to be doing. Because you're a parakeet, not a seagull. But anyways, I'm going to move on because I don't want to take too long here. You get the gist of it. We're going to go ahead and move on to the Prism Oracle deck, and we're going to look at exactly what change it is that you need to make. So I'm going to go ahead and get that deck, and then we'll be right back. All right, pile 3. I have the Prism Oracle deck here. I'm a really big fan of this deck, and we're going to go ahead and get into what change do you need to make? What change? I mean, honestly, it seems like almost like the changes are coming at you rather than you making them. And it's like more like you just need to accept it, if I'm being honest. But let's go ahead and see, what changes do you need right now, pile 3? What changes does pile 3 need right now? Okay, that's a lot. But the only upright one is growth. Okay, well, with growth, I feel like you're almost like this seed that's just waiting to blossom. But it's almost like you planted your seed in like the Arctic and you're waiting for it to blossom there. And you just need to relocate the seed. If you relocated the seed to where it's meant to be, in some nice warm dirt, it's nice and moist, boom, growth. Like, you're just waiting to blossom, but you're not in the right environment. Again, with the parakeet and seagull analogy. Let's see, what else? Pile 3, what else needs to change? Pile 3, what else needs to change? Actually, this is kind of off topic, but I think it's really interesting. This green agate is really just agate that's been dyed green. I didn't know that. I got it from a really cheap store. But I feel like you've dyed yourself green so you can fit in with all these other green crystals, but you're just like, I don't know, underneath, maybe it's just a white agate and it's meant to be with all the other agates. I feel like you've dyed yourself so you fit in with a whole other crowd that isn't even you. Again, parakeet seagull analogy. Rest, I feel like it's literally like before. You need to take off the armor. You need to relax. You need to give yourself a break because you've been trying so hard at this thing that's just not working. It's almost like, it's like trying to lift a weight off the ground, but the entire time it's bolted down. So you're just using up all this energy and straining your muscles. And for what? Like it wasn't possible to begin with. You're just trying something that's not working. Let's see, what else can we get? What else needs to change? Death. That's literally the change card. The death card is all about change. So self-explanatory. You need to die so you can be reborn. Death leads to rebirth. I'm thinking of like a wildfire analogy. When you have like, I think it's pine cones that need to go through a fire so that they can turn into pine trees, so that the seeds can actually like open up. And what you need right now is literally a tower moment. You need a wildfire. This moment of complete destruction where it just clears everything so that the forest can start anew. And I think you're looking for this complete change to just start over. You need to start over on a new path. You need to start from scratch. You need to wipe the slate clean so that you can be reborn, so you can work towards what it actually is that you're supposed to work towards. Let's go ahead. I'm going to get the final card. What change do you need? What change do you need, pile 3? Wow, that was loud. Anxiety. I feel like you just need to let go of your fears. Obviously, easier said than done. I'm gonna get personal for a sec, because honestly, this reading is basically mirroring what I just went through. And maybe that's why I'm using this analogy of like the college thing, because I tried college, and I tried the conventional route, and it wasn't working. I had roadblock after roadblock until I finally just broke down, and I was like, I don't know what to do. And when I finally just surrendered and I was like, okay, I'm gonna see what the universe has to offer me. I need to find what I actually want to do in life. And so I took a gap year, I figured it out, and eventually it came to me. There was so much time where I was still unsure. Like, even though I surrendered, and I think it took like 4 months before I had that aha moment, like, oh, I'm really passionate about this thing. But during that time, I tried so many other things. I thought that I wanted to work with plants. I thought that, I wanted to be a culinary artist. I thought I wanted to be thing after thing after thing, until finally one thing stuck, and I was like, oh, forget all that other stuff. This is what's meant for me. But it took surrendering and leaving behind that path that wasn't serving me so I could figure it out. And honestly, I feel like that's what you're doing. And so, you know, surrendering was terrifying. I literally, like, I broke down, I was crying, I was hysterical. But it's like as soon as I figured it out, it's like I just calmed down. And it was like a storm had passed. And I really think that that's what you need. So take it from me. I know it's hard to let go of anxieties, but the universe is pushing you in a direction, and I think you just need to listen and surrender. Let the river take you. Stop going against the flow and just let it take you to where you're supposed to go. And I promise you, it'll be so much nicer on the other side. You'll find where you're meant to be and you will blossom. You've been trying to grow in this like frigid, cold environment. But if you move yourself to this warm, nice, dirt environment where you can be a happy seed, you'll grow and blossom into this, beautiful plant where you have your full potential just awakened. So that was a lot. I keep saying that was a lot. I feel like all of these readings I've done today have just been filled with so much information. So I hope that this video finds people that really need it. But we're going to go ahead and get into the final deck, the Animal Apothecary Oracle deck. And that one will be all about what advice do you need to hear, like any final pieces of advice that you need to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and get that deck, and then we'll get started on that. All right, Pile 3. I got the deck, and now let's go ahead and see what advice does Spirit, Universe, your spirit guides, or just general, like what advice do you need to hear right now? What advice does the universe have for you right now, Pile 3? What advice do you need to hear right now? Attract through glow. Wow, it's really taking its sweet time. I wouldn't blame you if you needed to skip through this, because wow, it's taking a while. Abundance, finally. I think it's interesting you have 9 and the number 18, which adds up to 9 and also divides down into 9. Does it divide down into 9? It divides down into 6 and 3, which adds up to 9, and also 9 plus 9 is 18. So 9 could be a really important number for you. 18 as well. You could be seeing a lot of 999. And 9s symbolize the end of something. So like almost the end, which leads into the beginning of a new path. So honestly, I think that's pretty fitting. Like it's the end of this current path so that you can start a new one. And by the time you get to the end of this one, you'll have learned something new. So 9s could be really important for you. But I'm going to go ahead and get one more card if it'll let me. What does Pile 3 need to hear right now? What does Pile 3 need to hear right now, Spirit? What does Pile 3 need to hear right now? Okay, well 2 came out, but I'm just gonna take, oh, what the hell, I'll take both of them. It's gonna be kind of long because I am reading from the guidebook and I'm not very good at reading aloud, so I wouldn't blame you if you didn't want to listen to it, but nonetheless, stick with me. I apologize if I sound like nails on a chalkboard. But anyways, we have Attract Through Glow, Abundance, No Expectations, and Sacred Boundaries. Attract Through Glow, number 18. Let's see. Lightning Bug. Notice how plain and unassuming Lightning Bug is in the light of the sun. Yet in darkness, he becomes his most magnificent, brilliant self. It is his glow that we all yearn to experience. His glow is magnetic and attracts. His inner light is what lights up other lightning bugs and connects him to what he desires. In receiving lightning bug's medicine, you are being challenged to glow up and attract. Lightning bug uses his glow for many reasons, but one main reason is to connect with other lightning bugs and to attract his mate. So whether you're in the stages of attracting your beloved or just trying to level up in the world, lightning bug's medicine teaches us that we brighten our glow by enhancing others' glows. Our inherent being doesn't just desire, but needs to be loved and heard by others. This card challenges us to enhance our relationships with others, and in doing so, we live a more fulfilling version of ourselves. When we're seen, heard, and respected by others, we not only feel amazing, but we glow more intensely. How do we improve our relationships with others? Research has shown that when we focus on positive qualities of others, we begin to experience their positive qualities constantly. This medicine asks you to start a daily journal practice by writing down the aspects you love and admire in others. You will not only begin to see these glowing qualities in others in abundance, but their glow will enhance your glow. Practice this for at least a week and watch yourself and the people you wrote about glow up. Okay, so I have two things. One isn't really related to this, kind of is related to the beginning, but with the analogy of how the lightning bug doesn't seem to glow during the day, it's kind of unassuming, looks like every other bug, but once it's at nighttime, it really starts to glow and then it attracts others like it. It really made me think back to the stupid, not stupid, it's very sweet. The parakeet and seagull thing. I don't know why I said it's stupid. It's not stupid. I feel like you've just been this bug that seems like unassuming on the outside, but it's because of the environment you're in, and you're surrounded by these other bugs that aren't really like you. But once you move to the place that you're meant to be, to the darkness, you start to glow, and then you start to attract others like you that also glow. And it's like, once you move to a better environment, you get on this other path that you're meant to be in, you start to glow, and you start to attract others that also glow. And then you form this community and these beautiful bonds with people that, are like-minded and help support you and uplift you. And I think it's a mix of things. I think it's telling you that it's time to get on this other path. But also, once you get on this other path, you're going to start to attract these other like-minded people, and you're going to start to become your highest, fullest self. But also, speaking about the passage, it also makes me think, even if you aren't able to get on that path just yet, just being able to, be around people that have the kind of glow that you want to have will help you begin to glow more. So try to be around people that are the kinds of people that you want to be. If you can't exactly figure out what path that you want to be on yet, look at people that you admire. Look at people that you want to be like. And, don't just copy them, but start to live the life that you want to live. Like how they're living the life that they want to live. You know what I mean? But anyways, let's go move on to abundance, number 19, and read what that one is about. What advice does abundance have for you? The bowhead whale. To survive, bowhead whale must be in flow with the currents of the ocean, where its main source of food lives. When a team is migrating through the Arctic waters, the lead bowhead will often break through the ice to create a hole that the following whale will use to breathe. Bowhead whale comes to ask you to be in harmony with the flow. Not to say I told you so, but remember the flow analogy with the river. Once you go with the flow, everything is easier. It's literally telling you, be in harmony with the flow. The flow is the path of least resistance. It is allowing that which is bigger than yourself to guide you. Let the universe guide you. Just quit ignoring all the roadblocks and take it as a sign that you're on the wrong path. You need to get on the right path. This card reveals that something greater is clearing the way for a time of relief. You are in alignment with the flow where abundance flows. This abundance is revealed to you as your true self. It's literally telling you that you will find relief when you go down the path that leads you to your true self. And the path that you're on right now is not leading you to your truest, highest self. The universe is trying to tell you that you're on the wrong path. Straight up. You're being asked to release your negative thinking and worry. Get rid of the anxiety, remember from the Prism Oracle deck? Rest assured that whatever is currently bringing discord or angst will soon dissipate. Let go. holding on to worry and resisting the state of flow. When we trust life and surrender, we work in flow. When we work in flow, we channel, which means to allow the universe to self-express through us. In these magical moments of inspiration, we allow the universe to actualize, using us as the vehicle. This is bliss, as we transcend the superego and are one with the ultimate oneness. This is where we realize our true self. This is ultimate abundance. Bowhead Whale's medicine suggests prayer as a gateway to channeling. Ask the universe what you can do for it and not what it can do for you. What comes next is better than what you could wish for. I mean, I can't say it better than that, and I think that's pretty straightforward. So I'll let you sit with that for a little bit. Feel free to pause if you need some time to really take in this info. But I'm gonna go ahead and move on and read number 22, No Expectations. Now, I have actually read this card before, so I already know what it's gonna tell you, and I think it's literally what I've already told you. But honestly, it puts it better than I could, so. Anyways. Number 22, No Expectations. Black Panther represents walking into the dark and exploring the feminine power of allowing development to come from the unknown. Walking into the unknown with no expectations is the key that will open the door to your success. The no expectations medicine of this card strongly advises you not to limit yourself with ideas of how anything will unfold. Life is planning something more delicious than you can currently understand. Something profound is on the horizon for you. Trust life without needing to be the dictator of how and when your manifestation will blossom into fruition. Intense expectations will only inhibit the ability of what is more extraordinary to develop. Take the risk for what you desire without the desperate need to control how it will unfold. A situation you perceive as a failure today may be what leads you to unfathomable success in 3 years. So exactly, what you think is a failure, what you think is roadblock, what you think is stopping you is actually helping you along your path. So don't think of it as stopping you. Think of it as it was meant to happen so that you could be your highest self, so that you could achieve, what you're meant for. A few years down the line, it'll help you get to where you're supposed to be. This is why an expectation of how you think things should work is futile. Understand that whatever occurs in your life is meant for your growth. So yeah, literally what I just said. I shouldn't have said anything, to be honest. Our misguided steps and our mistakes are our greatest teachers. Taking risks allows divine opportunities to present themselves. Take note, if you're met with continuous resistance and rigid expectation, this is a universal sign that another direction is more beneficial. Another direction is more beneficial, so take a step back and allow the path of least resistance to be revealed. I don't even know why I bother doing these readings when I could literally just read from this book. Sometimes I swear. I literally, that just basically sums up this entire reading. This is not to say you should give up immediately, but it does warn that you may be unaligned with the flow. It may also be a signal that you just need to wait a bit longer. Black Panther is the queen of facing fears and taking risks to achieve her heart's desires. If you're questioning whether to go forward with an idea that feels totally uncertain, Black Panther's medicine asks you to go for it. Do not seek immediate gratification. Remember, the results may take time to unravel, but taking the risk to do what is best for you will always yield positive results. Again, I couldn't say it better myself. If you've been seeing a lot of 22s, 2s, that could also be important, and that could be the message that those synchronicities have for you. And then these two with the 999. And then Sacred Boundaries, number 43. Let's see what that one has. Oh, okay. I already flipped to it. Tiger Palm. Tiger Palm is the medicine of sacred boundaries. Tigers are masters of their territory. In the jungle, Tiger says no to living near other tigers because she knows this will diminish the amount of food in her territory. Tiger says yes to living near water, for she knows it is a good medicine to relax and play in the flowing waters. Tiger is bold and never thinks twice about whether she should allow something toxic and dramatic in her environment, nor does she ever feel bullied or coerced into doing something she does not want to do. Tiger is so strong because she creates firm boundaries. Tiger's power comes from knowing and honoring herself. We teach people how to treat us. Never expect others to automatically respect and treat you with the justice, love, and consideration you deserve, even when you treat them with kindness. Articulate and create boundaries through courteous speech, For many people, conflict is draining, and they would rather avoid it. Still, if you're presented with a situation that continuously minimizes or belittles you, you must stand your ground and ask for respect. The mere fact of sticking up for yourself is so admirable, it energetically creates a level of esteem from others. Even if the other party does not hear you, you will have strengthened your self-worth by holding your boundaries, and this new level of deeper self-worth will reflect in other areas of your life. Boundaries do not apply only to the behavior from others, but also the way we treat ourselves. Do you have guidelines for the food you put in your body, the people you create relationships with, the words you say, and the topics you discuss? Tiger Palm's medicine raises its hand in your spread when you are also being asked to level up the energy you allow into your life. Start scanning what behaviors you hold that do not align with, I treat my body, mind, and spirit like a sacred temple. Tiger Palm's medicine directs you to set boundaries with not only others, but yourself. All right, I think that's a really, honestly, great card to end with. Basically, if you feel like you're letting other people dictate the way that you think, the way that you act, create boundaries with them, and even if you don't want to straight up confront them, because I know confrontation can be hard, you could just make boundaries with yourself of, you know what, they can say whatever they want, but I'm not going to let it affect me. I'm going to change the way that I react to things. I'm going to change the way that I act. I'm going to change the way that I talk to myself. And, creating boundaries with yourself could be as simple as if you're always talking down to yourself, for instance, and you have really negative self-speech, or sometimes you tell yourself I can't do that, or no, that's not something for me. You set a boundary and be like, no, I'm not going to let you talk to me that way. Treat yourself like you are also a separate person talking to you. This might be kind of stupid, but one good way that I've heard people stop that negative self-speech is imagining that voice in your head, the negative voice in your head, is an 11-year-old boy on Xbox, Call of Duty game chat. It's you're no good at this, and it's shut up, why would I listen to you? Or the boundaries could be as simple as letting yourself rest. Set a boundary, after 9 p.m. I'm no longer allowed to stress about these things. So let's say you're stressing about work a bunch, and you're trying to fall asleep, and in your head you're you should be doing this thing. You tell yourself, no, it's 9 p.m. It's time for bed. It's time to relax. You don't get to tell me that right now. So setting boundaries can be really, really helpful. Sometimes we think you can only set boundaries with other people, but you can most definitely set boundaries with yourself. So that's all I have for you today, Pile 3. God, I talked a lot. I'm definitely getting vocal fry, so I'm sorry if I'm tripping over my words, but I really hope that this reading helped you. I hope it entertained you. But more than anything, I hope you got some good advice and you feel like you were helped out a little bit by it. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just trying to help people with these readings. I'm trying to help you along your path. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you liked it. And if you want more videos, I try to upload once a week. Except I was sick recently, so I haven't been able to upload for a while. But if you want more, I upload once a week. And I do private readings if you want to check the description below. But anyways, without further ado, thanks for watching. Bye-bye. All right, hi, File 4. If you chose the yellow calcite, this is going to be your reading. I wasn't planning on doing a Pile 4, but when I was seeing which crystals I was drawn to, my eyes kept going over to the yellow calcite, and I was no, I don't want to do a Pile 4. I don't have time for it. It's it's too much at once. But then I was God, fine, okay. And then I decided to do it. So I think if you're here today and you were drawn to this, it must be an important message, because it's I had to get it out. So I have no idea what we're about to get into today, but we're gonna start with the tarot, which is gonna tell you all about, what current situation it is that you are searching for a change in. If you've come to this video searching for what you need to change, I assume you might have an idea of what situation it is that you need a change in. But if you don't, this will help you get some insight on what aspect of your life is needing a change. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle out the cards, and then we'll be right back in a bit. Okay, Pile 4. I have a very specific message for you guys. Every other pile's been about like a situation or a path that somebody's going down that they need to change. But for you guys, your cards are actually showing me like what you need to change is something about, it's like inherent you yourself. I'm just gonna say it has to do with confidence. I feel like you're not the greatest when it comes to confrontation. Also, I'm just gonna say, like, if this doesn't sound like it's for you, it could be that you chose the wrong pile, or if none of them seem to resonate, it's just not the video for you. Please don't try to make anything like fit. If it's just not fitting, it's not meant for you. But for those of you that, you know, if you aren't really the best with confrontation, I feel like the universe is trying to teach you like how to stand up for yourself and how to really get in your power and release yourself from the chains of, you know, just going along with what other people want. And like if something's bothering you, you don't really say anything about it, and you haven't been able to stand up for yourself. And I think once you do learn how to stand up for yourself, you'll have so many better opportunities open to you. And I feel like you've kind of just been like taking what you get, and I'm almost envisioning like a meek little mouse. I'm not saying that you're a meek little mouse. I'm sure that there's other aspects of your life that you're like a fucking lion, and apologize for cursing. But I feel like when it comes to confrontation and telling people what it is you want and actually like acting on it and taking control of situations and being confident and being like, this is what I want and I want it this way, you haven't really been able to do that. And well, there's a lot to get into, so I'll just start from the beginning. The very first card you have here is the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords is a woman that, not saying that you're a woman, it's just that, you know, it's appearing to me as a feminine energy. She is able to speak her thoughts freely. She's very articulate, she's very confident, and she's not weighed down by like any emotions or, you know, passions of the moment. Like she speaks straight at you, straightforward. She says what she wants, and she's not afraid of how people will react to it, you know? You could think of it as like, I don't know if it's necessarily a Libra energy, but I have a close friend who's a Libra, and she is very good at confrontation. She's very good at saying what's on her mind. She's very articulate. Shout out to her if she ever watches this. I really doubt that she will. But she's very confident and, you know, not necessarily like confident in every single aspect of her life, like making the world her bitch, but she's really able to, you know, she won't hold back. If there's something on her mind, there's something she really wants to say, she will say it. And I feel like with this being clarified by the Wheel of Fortune, I feel like the universe has been trying to teach you how to get that power, to get that energy of being able to say what's on your mind and being able to act on it. And I feel like any time that the universe has presented you with these opportunities, you've backed out, you've backed down, and you haven't been able to really step up to that plate. And now I think there's something in your life that's giving you this opportunity. It's like another thing where, you know, maybe you're uncomfortable with a decision that your friends are making, or your family's making you do something you don't want to do, and the universe is trying to like, they're putting you up on the stage at the podium and everybody's quiet and they're waiting for you to say something, and the universe is like, here's your chance. It's your turn to say something. And it's not saying be argumentative. It's just saying, like, if you feel a certain way, don't let everybody walk all over you. Like, it's time for you to gain that confidence, and it's time for you to say it how you want to say it. And, you know, time and time again, you've had these opportunities, and I feel like each time you haven't been able to say something, it's because you were scared, and then later on you ended up regretting not saying anything because you were left with the consequences of, you know, what happens when you don't stand up for yourself. And now with the Wheel of Fortune, you know, the wheel keeps turning, and fate and destiny, the universe, whatever, keeps bringing you these opportunities until you're finally able to learn that lesson. And I feel like specifically there's somebody in your life that's been kind of like getting away with things or walking all over you, and you've kind of just, you've been quiet about it. Like, you haven't really said anything. With this Four of Swords, it's almost like you're you're asleep, like you're just like, okay, if I just like stay quiet, if I don't say anything, it'll blow over eventually. But, with the Seven of Swords, you almost see this guy that's like taking all your swords away from you, and he's like, well, you're not going to say anything about it, so I'm going to keep taking the swords, and I'm going to keep getting away with it because, you're just sleeping, you're not doing anything about it. And I feel like it's been really hard for you to gain that confidence and fight back and stand up for yourself with the Seven of Wands reversed. Actually, speaking of sevens, you actually have 777, so you might be seeing a lot of sevens, and that could be a sign from, the universe, your guides, or whoever kind of telling you, like, it's time to step up. It's time for you to speak your truth. It's time for you to be real, be confident. But yeah, you could be seeing a lot of 777s, but I feel like you haven't really been standing up for yourself with the Seven of Wands reversed. Like, usually with the Seven of Wands upright, he's fighting back against all these wands, but with reversed, I feel like all these wands have just been coming at you. And this guy's been stealing all your swords, and you haven't really been doing anything about it. And the universe is telling you, like, it's time to stop being chained down by your fears. It's time to stop letting people chain you down and walk all over you and use you and do whatever they want. And it's time for you to, like, stand strong, like this King of Cups. The universe is telling you, be this King of Cups. Instead of letting your emotions rule you and decide how you act, you're gonna be like concrete on top of this ocean of like unruly waves, and you're like, I'm in control. I'm not letting all this water move me. I'm not letting all these emotions move me. I decide what I do with my emotions. I decide the way that I act. And the universe is telling you, like, it's time to step into that King of Cups energy. It's time to step into this King of Wands energy. You have two kings here that are basically like, grab a hold. Like, when you feel a certain type of way about something emotionally, say it. When you feel a certain like kind of fiery passion about something, say it. Say it how it is. Say it how you feel, and don't just, shut your mouth and sit in the corner. Like, honestly, this could have been like a learned behavior from somebody being like, you're not allowed to speak your mind. It could even be like a parental figure that's like, nobody wants to hear your opinion, or like, you were never able to confront them as a child. And so as you grew up into a teen or adult or however old you are, you've never really learned how to stand up for yourself. And now the universe is trying to coax you with all these different lessons and all these different opportunities. And they're like, we're going to keep providing you these opportunities where people are walking all over you. And yeah, it sucks. But once you learn to confront them, and once you learn to say, like, that's not okay. I actually don't want you to do that to me. I don't want you to treat me like that. Then you'll finally be able to learn your lesson, and the universe will be like, yep, you did it. Now, you don't need to keep going through these things. You learned your lesson, and now you're like basically set free so that you know how to deal with these things when they come up. And you know what I mean? It's like when you have to learn something, and the universe keeps providing you all these opportunities to learn and to act on it a certain way. And until you learn that lesson, you're going to keep facing these same problems over and over again. And I feel like that's what you're doing with this. I feel like there's a big lack of confidence here. And unfortunately, I think that it was something that you learned at a young age, which is not your fault in the slightest. I mean, that's the fault of an adult that should have known better, that should have treated you better. And I feel like with the Tower card, I feel like you've been really comfortable sitting in this protected tower where you're like, okay, I'm not gonna step on any toes. I'm just gonna be up here where I don't bother anybody. I don't get in anybody's way. And then all of a sudden, lightning bolt hits the tower, and you've been thrust out of your comfort zone. And, when you're thrust out of that comfort zone, are you gonna look for another tower to hide in until it gets inevitably struck down? Or are you yourself gonna be sturdy and you're like, I don't need a tower to hide in. I'm gonna be my own strong, confident self. Yeah, and I think once you are able to learn that, it's going to open up so many opportunities to you, and you're going to live a much happier life as a more confident person that, doesn't accept anything less than what's the best for you. You're not going to let anybody trample all over you. But that is the current situation. I'm going to move on to the Prism Oracle deck, and we're going to get some cards on exactly how you can make this change, what needs to be changed, what change needs to be made, etc., etc. I could word it a million ways, but basically we're going to get some more cards on what change do you need to make. All right, BRB. All right, pile 2, I have the Prism Oracle deck here, and now we're going to look at what change needs to be made for you to better your situation. What change needs to be made? Pile 4. Did I call you pile 2? You're pile 4. I'm sorry if I messed that up by accident. Pile 4. What change needs to be made? Anxiety. I mean, self-explanatory. You're letting your anxieties rule you, and it's time to address them. And I think a great way to start actually is address, why do you feel this anxiety about confrontation? Are you scared that whoever you're talking to is going to blow up in your face? Because honestly, if it's like a friend or somebody that you just need to tell, like, I don't like it when you do this, if they really care about you, if that person truly loves you unconditionally and wants nothing but the best for you, they'll hear that and they'll take it to heart and they will be better. And I think if you're afraid of confrontation, it could be because anytime you've ever tried to confront something, it's been with somebody that hasn't had your best good at heart. And they've torn you down and they've shut you up and they've made you scared of confrontation. But confrontation is a word for communication with bad people. Okay? It's not confrontation if it's with somebody that truly cares about you, because then that's just communication. That's communicating how you feel. And let's say like you're in a relationship with somebody that you want to be with for the rest of your life. If you want to, if you have an issue that arises, you're not confronting that person. You're having a dialogue with them. You're being like, hey, I don't like it when this happens and I want to fix it because I love you and I care about you and I want to see our relationship improve. And if that person truly loves you, they'll be like, I hear you. I don't want our relationship to be bad, so I want to work on this. But since when you were a child, somebody probably maybe you tried to communicate something with them and they took it badly and it turned into anger. It made you scared of communication and it made you see it only as confrontation. So I'm sorry I keep calling it confrontation. Maybe for some of you, you're dealing with somebody that you need to confront because they've been hurting you. But for others, sometimes we don't see the difference between confrontation and communication. And one doesn't need to be scary. You just need to see, is it with somebody that I'm supposed to be scared of? Or is it with somebody that I'm able to have that, respectful dialogue with? All right. Anyways, let's get 3 more cards of what change needs to be made. Pile 4. Love. Growth. These are really nice cards. I mean, aside from anxiety. Ideation. I think a big lesson here with the anxiety and stuff is really analyzing your relationships. And, if you're hanging around somebody that is being rude to you, being bad to you, being negative, that you feel like you need to confront, honestly, you might not even need to confront them, because are they worth keeping in your life? Usually if you're going to confront somebody about something, it's because you want to fix it, right? Or if you're going to communicate, it's because you want to fix an issue. But I think you really need to take a look at the person that you're having an issue with and analyze, are they even worth keeping in my life? Because if they're not, just drop them. There's no point in even trying to have a dialogue with them if they're not going to be respectful of you. And so look for people that actually do love and care about you, because those kinds of people are going to be the kinds of people that are worth communicating with. You know what I mean? And I think the universe, or I think specifically your guides, are really, they're coming through in a very gentle way. They're not shoving and pushing you and telling you, you need to do this, you need to do it now. They're coming through in a much softer, caring manner, because I think that they know that you just need a few gentle nudges. Like, you don't need to be pushed into the volcano. You just need, a little bit of nudges so you can fly, so you can grow. And I think they recognize that your anxiety stems from a place of deep hurt, and to unlearn that, you don't need to unlearn it through like harsh, like, you need to do this, you need to do it now. They understand that what you need is like a slow, like gradual warming up to it. Like, this growth process isn't, like, for example, you can't grow a sequoia tree super high, super large overnight. It takes years and years. And I think your growth process isn't going to be something where you just have a realization and you're better overnight, It's going to take moments where you're gradually like warming up to things. Like, for instance, imagine like you're not just going from like room temperature to jumping into like ice cold water. Like, you're slowly slowly cooling down. Like, you get into lukewarm water first, and then, it's like room temperature water. And then you get into the cooler water and then cold. So your growth process is happening gradually. It's happening at your own speed. And the universe, in the very first part where I had the Wheel of Fortune card, it was telling you, you're going to keep having these moments where you're going to keep having these opportunities to, experience communication, confrontation. And, they're going to keep happening. So it's not like there's going to be one opportunity, and if you miss it, you're never going to grow. There will be more opportunities. And if you're not comfortable right now, just take small steps, take baby steps. It's okay to take baby steps because it's all steps in the right direction towards growth. Now, with ideation, I'm actually not quite sure. This is actually a new deck, and I'm going to be honest, I'm not quite sure what that card is about. So I'm going to get out the guidebook, and I'm going to read about it because, honestly, I really like Oracle guidebooks. Oh man, but this one doesn't have numbers, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take a second to find the page, and we'll be right back. Okay. Ideation. Sorry, it took me so long to find this card because it looks like salmon color. So I was looking for orange, and then I was looking through red, and I couldn't find it anywhere. It turns out it's pink, which honestly, I feel like the fact that I couldn't find it almost speaks to how I feel like you're almost looking for how you can find this strength. And I feel like maybe you look and compare yourself to others and you're like, well, they can do it, why can't I? But I feel like for you, you're gonna have a special sort of moment where you realize, oh, this is how I can do this. But it's like you're gonna have your own special method of like finding strength. And I think maybe you might come up with an analogy for yourself, or you might have like something that gives you inspiration. But whatever it is, I feel like it's going to take you time to find, and it's going to take growth, and it's going to take trial and error, but it's all going to lead up to this moment where you're going to look back and you'll be like, wow, I'm so much stronger and I'm so much more evolved than I was then. And it's like, it's not necessarily that you're at a bad place right now. It's just that when you get to this point where you've learned and you've grown and you've gone through this journey, you'll have become a completely new person. Like, you've almost gone from caterpillar to a butterfly. And I'm going to go ahead and read you the meaning of this card, and then I'll get more into it. This card is about the growth of ideas in your life. Now is the time to focus on creating a safe space for your endeavors. This moment is just for you. Let your ideas grow while you nurture and care for them. Enjoy the special time. So I think it's almost just like a reiteration that, this growth is a process. It's not going to happen overnight. And, as nice as it will be to get you to that point of having this confidence and being this confident self where you don't let anybody get in your way, it's as silly as it is, or not silly, but as cliche as it is, it's about the journey, not the destination. Because I feel like you're going to really take your time growing and blossoming. Like I said, with, the sequoia tree analogy and this growth, like, it's going to take you a long time, but you're going to accumulate so many little things along the way that make you this strong person. Almost like, a brick house wouldn't be strong if it was all just like one thing. It's made up of all these like hundreds of bricks that are laid by hand and laid with like the, I don't know, is it concrete or plaster in between that like links them together and makes them so strong, so they form into this strong wall or this strong house. And I feel like that's you. And right now, maybe you only have 2 bricks and you're like, well, this doesn't feel very strong. But along the way, you pick up more, and eventually you don't just see 2 bricks, you see all this that you've accumulated and built. And I feel like as you go along this journey, it's only going to make you more optimistic. It's only going to make you have more faith in yourself. And you're going to really go through this beautiful journey of self-actualization, self-realization, where you blossom into such a strong person. Like, I truly think, like, you're not just gonna have enough confidence to go get by. I think you're gonna be an extremely strong, confident person that other people like you right now might look up to, will look up to. And I think you have so much strength underneath, and you just need to unlearn these toxic things that you were taught when you were younger. But that's enough of these cards. I think that was a really sweet message. I'm going to go ahead and get into the final part, which is, what advice do you need to hear? What advice does Spirit or your guides or the universe have for you? And I'm going to do that with the Animal Apothecary Oracle deck. So I'm going to go ahead and get those cards, and we'll be right back. All right, Pile 4, I'm actually really glad, that I did end up doing this reading. I think, I could be wrong, but I think yellow calcite actually is all about like confidence and positivity. And I don't know, I'm glad that I did end up doing it, even though it did take a while, because I feel like this is a really important message. And I think those of you that were drawn to this and, have made it this far, I think you do have a really strong desire to grow and blossom into this strong person. You really want to be that person. I can see you manifesting it, and the universe just wants to help you along. The universe will be a helping hand for you throughout this entire journey. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the advice cards. So, Pile 4, what advice does Spirit have for you right now? Wow, okay, look at that. Aww, okay. Self-worth, love, value, respect. I mean, what's this whole reading about? I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. But I'm going to go ahead and get 2 more cards before I get into this. Inner truth. And service. Okay, I'm definitely gonna read from the book for inner truth and service, but I feel like self, and then it just says like worth, love, value, respect, and hearts. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory, and I think it's really sweet. You almost see this baby pig, and it looks like they're on top of these gold coins, and that's all about abundance. And the pig is almost like inside the coin, so it's like the pig itself, piglet, is you, and you already have this abundance of worth inside yourself. You just need to realize it. It's not necessarily realize, but remember. Because I feel like when you're young, you don't have all these cares that the world puts on you. You don't have all these am I pretty enough? Or you don't think about that when you're a kid. Unless some adult puts it on you, or society puts it on you. And unfortunately that does happen. It starts to cloud, your self-worth, your self-love, your value for yourself, and your self-respect. And I think this card is really telling you, Spirit is really trying to tell you, I think a great thing for you would be, write a list of what are the things that you love about yourself? What are the things that you're proud about yourself? what kind of person do you want to be, you know? And if it's hard for you to think about some of those things, or you're like, well, I'm not proud of myself for anything, I'm sure that there is something. It could be as small as like, I'm proud of myself for getting out of bed today. Because sometimes for some people, I've even been there, it can be really hard. And I think just practicing gratitude for yourself and being proud of yourself, loving yourself, is such an important step to being able to realize your full potential and truly embody your highest self. Because once you have this foundation of love, respect, and self-worth for yourself, that's when you're going to fully have all this confidence. Like, these are the steps that you need to take along the way that I was saying that are going to help you lay this like brick foundation. It's going to build you up, and learning this along the way and feeling this love for yourself grow every day, that's the most important part, not just the end result. All right, now we're going to go ahead and read for inner truth and service, and then that'll be all I have for you today. All right. Oh, for some reason, I just went to self-worth. I don't know, maybe I meant to read it because I literally just flipped to it and I didn't even mean to. I was supposed to go to this one. But I think I'll just read it. Okay, pig. Pig has big medicine to share with you. This medicine is so grand that it is the key to living a fulfilling life and aids in accomplishing your potential. Pig's message is simple and direct. Know your worth. Not only does Pig know his worth, but cultures across the world have proclaimed his value for thousands of years as both a creature to be revered and a source of nourishment. Think of a piggy bank with money inside of it. The more money inside, the more value it carries. The piggy bank reflects the idea that our true worth comes from within. When we only use others' validation to inform us of our value, it always leads to suffering. Pig's medicine teaches us about inner talk. Do you walk around doing your daily tasks with a voice in your head that belittles you, tells you you're not good enough, and makes you feel unworthy? Now is the time to proactively train and direct the voice in your head to share messages that are uplifting, loving, and kind about yourself. This will take a lot of work and will most likely feel like you're lying to yourself if you have a habit of negative self-talk. The key to making it honest and impactful is to not lie to yourself and say, "I'm gorgeous," when everything in you feels ugly. Instead, you say to that part that feels ugly, "I love you. I feel this pain with you. In one day, I will get us to the point where we feel our beauty. But for now, I am here for you." Pig's medicine asks you to accept that you will always struggle with some form of insecurity because you're human. True self-worth isn't raging confidence. It's allowing yourself to be insecure and being there for yourself when you feel the pain of not feeling good enough. This act is the power that creates self-worth. You know what? I read this guidebook during these readings, and I wonder why I even try to interpret the cards myself when the guidebook is so much more succinct and it puts it better than I could. So I'm just gonna read it. Up next, Inner Truth, number 7, Owl. Owl sees in the dark and knows what is not directly being shown. She is the master intuitive. In ancient Greek mythology, Owl sat on the shoulder of Athena so that the goddess would know the whole truth at all times. If you receive this card in your reading, it's a message that you have a deep inner knowing and you can trust in this gift. Whatever guidance you are currently seeking, this card is a confirmation that the answer will not only come, but it will come from within. I think a common theme from these cards is everything, this self-worth, this self-love, this knowledge, it's all coming from within. I think it's just a matter of you doing the work to realize and remember it. Just look deep within yourself, and that's where you'll get all the answers from, as cliche as it is. Owl says it's okay to not always immediately know the right answer or what to do. Fear may arise and hide the truth of a situation from you, but you're being asked to sit in the confidence of your inner knowledge. Patience is of the utmost importance. When you push and try to instruct your intuition to immediately figure out the answer, your intuition becomes entangled by your ego's control. All you need to know is that the guidance will come. When and how it comes is none of your concern. Life will help you connect with your intuition to reveal the truth. Figure out the best path and do what is best for your growth and the growth of anyone else involved. Owl's medicine shares that you do know the answer, and it will be revealed at the correct moment. relax, and go do something else. Yeah, so it'll, like the growth, like I said, it's gonna take time, and it's not like you can force it. It'll take intuition, it'll take moments from the universe, but it'll all come to you when you're meant to. I think it's not like you're gonna miss the train, you know? It's not like you're running out of time to have this moment of growth. It could end up being a lifelong journey, and maybe right now you just needed to hear that, you know? Maybe you just needed to get a little bit of a boost. Maybe that's what this is, a little bit of a boost. But on to the final card, service. Number 14, seeing eye dog. This card image focuses on a seeing eye dog, which exemplifies the concept of selfless service as they dedicate their entire existence to being guides for others. When a seeing eye dog is assisting a blind person, their purpose becomes one. This oneness reflects what the world is in dire need of: service. Second to suffering, service is the next best vehicle to tame the ego. Jumpstart your growth, blossom into yourself, and get over the painful experience. The wounded healer, an archetype conceived by Carl Jung, speaks of a person who becomes healed by being of service to others. When receiving the medicine of the seeing eye dog, you understand that service will always lead to some form of success. This is not the superficial understanding of material success, which is based on popularity, looks, status, or the amount of money in your bank account. Long-lasting and eternal success creates an energy that can never be destroyed. This is the energy that is created when we are of service to others. Everlasting spiritual wealth. Service is a conductor of blessings, both in this life and hereafter. It acts as a magnet for profound personal blessings, and eternal success. When we're truly selfless, we begin to align with the nature of our existence. We recognize that we're all connected, and essentially, the entirety of multiple universes and ourselves are all one. This harmony with reality attracts hidden gifts produced by our alignment. Seeing Eye Dog's medicine shares that a blessing is approaching through your selfless acts. Dedicate yourself to some form of service to another. Your acts of service will be felt and noticed. Success will follow. Seeing Eye Dog's medicine is to help yourself by helping another. I think actually that makes a lot of sense for this reading, especially if you deal with problems of recognizing your self-worth or helping yourself or speaking kindly to yourself. If you're not able to help yourself in some way, it could help you to help another person. And through helping someone else, it might make you feel better. I don't know how to put it into words, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Like sometimes if you don't allow yourself to help yourself, it can help if you help other people. Even if it's like, I don't deserve this, maybe just like helping someone else is like, okay, maybe I do deserve this because I did a good act, you know, if that's a workaround that you need. I don't know, but I hope that this gave you some answers. I don't know everything, but I can definitely read cards if that's what you need. I really hope that this helped you in any way, shape, or form. I hope that the advice helped and you gleaned any kind of good information from it. I really just do these because I like helping people, and I like helping people have realizations of ways to make themselves feel better. That's what I try to do at the end of the day. But anyways, this is the last reading. I have vocal fry and my brain is fuzzy, but I really hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please leave a like, and if you want more like this, I try to post once a week, so subscribe if you're looking for more. I also have personal readings if you want to check the description below, but without further ado, I wish you the best. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.